I love the original Megamind movie, like, a lot.
Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
Hello, welcome back to another Hard Review, and I am, of course, back here today to talk about a movie that came out recently on Peacock, which is a pilot movie for a following show. We have Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Now, this kind of reminds me of there was a Clone Wars movie, you know, the 3D animated Clone Wars show? Well, there was a movie with, like, Zero the Hutt, and it showed how we meet Ahsoka and everything. And I liked that a lot as a kid growing up, so I guess I can't really judge stuff like this. I mean, it's been over a decade since we've gotten Megamind content, and Megamind is quite the meme. No bitches. But that movie is awesome. It reminds me a lot of Dr. Horrible, which is a personal favorite of mine. You take the superhero formula and you kind of subvert it, and we follow the villain character and we show their life, and they're kind of an incel. This isn't a musical, though. But the cast of that original Megamind movie is so good, and it just really works really well. It's one of the more underrated DreamWorks movies out there, especially since, probably just because it hasn't gotten a lot of spotlight because it didn't get a sequel. There's only one of these, whereas DreamWorks has like 3 fucking Shrek sequels and fucking Madagascar and spin-offs and How to Train Your Dragons and Kung Fu Pandas. But Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate, I really want to watch it because I make a bottom 10 list every year, and that's definitely one that's going to be on it. Yes, this movie's a 1 out of 5, and now I know what you're thinking, Adam, why is it not a 0? Number 1, yeah, this is what the movie would be about. Like, if they did a Megamind sequel, yeah, it would be like, okay, well, now that he's like a good guy, now he's got to pretend to be the good guy. Well, he actually is a good guy, but he's got to pretend because he had old villain buddies that we just didn't know about, and now they're like, hey, we're evil, right? And he's like, yeah? The animation in this movie is disgusting, but like I said, like, the plot, that's what this would be. Yeah, sure, it's kind of the easy answer of where do we go next with this character. The jokes are really bad, too. I will say, the only reason I'm at a 1 star is there were a couple jokes where I was like, okay, that's kind of funny, and I'm kind of laughing at it, but I'm kind of laughing with it kind of scenario. We gotta remember, this is a straight-to-streaming, like, spin-off with none of the original voice cast, and it's for children. This is like content that will get deleted. You know how there's like the Coyote versus Acme movie and stuff like that that's like totally gonna like fade into oblivion because they're just gonna remove it from the streaming service, and that's not in physical media anywhere. So if you ever want to watch this movie, you have to find it, like pirate it, or maybe it's on YouTube or something. But this is very ignorable. It didn't even go to theaters, so like the outrage is kind of funny because it's like, yeah, it's a stupid like straight to DVD sequel, so what did you really expect? Like, no one actually had anticipation for this movie, right? But yeah, it's terrible. There's a funny aspect to the movie where the Minion character, they're like, oh, well, yeah, you're not a part of the Minion group anymore, whatever, and so we gotta change your name. Oh, you're gonna be Chum, old Chum. And it's like, oh, DreamWorks is owned by Universal, who also owns Illumination, who owns the Minions, and I understand. I get that joke. Thank you. I did kind of get a vibe with the Doom Syndicate, which I just think it's so funny that they're calling this movie the Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate, because it's like, kids can't say Syndicate. I could barely say it. They don't know what that fucking means either. But the villains in the Doom Syndicate kind of reminded me of like the group of heroes that Mrs. Incredible joins up with in The Incredibles 2. Like, they're like, oh, they're kind of a little bit more like far out there, you know what I mean? I mean, Megamind's got a giant blue head and whatnot, but like in The Incredibles, everyone kind of looked like a person, and so when you get this big like brick looking guy and you got like a owl looking guy, it's like, the fuck we doing here? Do I think that this could have been a totally serviceable movie if there was Will Ferrell and David Cross and everyone else came back for this movie? Sure, but hey, it's a movie that doesn't really exist, so you don't really need to be mad at it. It's also for children. I'm sure a child would enjoy this. I'm sure if you threw it on for them, they'd be like, yeah, that was fine, and then they might rewatch it a decade later and be like, oh, but I liked it, nostalgia. But if you want to take anything away from this video, is that the original Megamind movie is really, really great. This is a really great movie, like animated movie, superhero movie. Super underrated. Go check that out, which, by the way, super fucking funny. You can't watch Megamind on Peacock. You can watch Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate, and you can watch the following show, Megamind Rules, which I'm not watching, by the way. But you cannot watch Megamind, the movie, on Peacock or on Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, anything like that. No, you cannot watch Amazon Prime. It might be on HBO Max. I don't know. I don't have that anymore. Movies are bad. This is the worst year for movies ever, but it's better than Madam Web. I had a better time with this than Madam Web. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Like, comment, subscribe, and why don't you tell me what your like most embarrassing like superhero sequel is? Oh, there's something that come to mind to me like right away, like, oh, Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. That felt like such a throw up, like, just cuz, like Aquaman 2 felt like that too. And I like Aquaman 2. I love Wonder Woman 84, but that also just feels like, yeah, fuck it, like just another one. Kick-Ass 2 feels like just another one. But these are all like kind of good. Like there's some shit like straight to DVD like sequels to stuff like this, and I'm gonna kick myself because like literally I'm gonna like realize like right when I'm done recording I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, wasn't there this movie that spun off this character? Tell me in the comments.